The video begins in silence, grainy, distorted footage from a dimly lit hotel hallway. A timestamp flashes in the corner, 2:39 a.m. The corridor is still, the air heavy with that peculiar tension that comes before something terrible happens. For months, this footage was sealed away, buried deep within internal hotel servers. But when it finally surfaced, thanks to an anonymous whistleblower, it changed everything we thought we knew about Menglong's final night. In those 8 minutes, the world of the beloved actor shifted from mystery to something much darker. The video shows Menglong stepping out of his room barefoot, a phone in his right hand. He looks nervous. His eyes dart from one end of the hallway to the other as though expecting someone. Then, faintly, you can hear him mutter something in Mandarin. "Stop following me." The words are quiet, but the fear in his tone is unmistakable. At 2:40 a.m., another figure appears at the far end of the hallway. The camera catches only a silhouette, a tall person in dark clothing, face obscured by a cap. The figure stops when Menglong turns. There's a pause, almost cinematic, as both men seem to wait for the other to speak. Then the screen glitches for 3 seconds. When the image returns, Menglong has moved closer to his room door, hand trembling on the handle. The unknown figure is gone. Investigators later said the footage was inconclusive. But when analysts slowed down the video frame by frame, something chilling emerged, a reflection in the polished floor showing the shadow of 2 people standing close together, one cornering the other. It lasts less than half a second, but it was enough to raise serious questions. Why was the official report claiming Menglong was alone in the corridor? At 2:42 a.m., the video jumps to a wider camera view from the hotel's service hallway. A door swings open, likely the emergency exit. From that angle, you can see Menglong's figure move hurriedly past, phone light flickering. His steps are fast, uneven, almost desperate. Moments later, a muffled sound echoes, a thud, followed by a faint cry that the hotel staff later said came from the 9th floor. Hotel staff claimed no cameras covered the balcony area, but leaked blueprints contradict that. One balcony security cam, labeled Cam 9B, mysteriously stopped recording at 2:44 a.m., just 2 minutes before Menglong's body was discovered. When reporters pressed hotel management for answers, they dismissed the missing footage as a technical malfunction. But inside sources claimed that specific camera had been manually disabled from the control room. The whistleblower who released the hallway video insisted that someone ordered the tapes deleted. He said he received them through an encrypted message from a former employee who couldn't bear to stay silent anymore. The video file's metadata confirmed multiple edits, timestamps cut and spliced, as though parts had been deliberately removed. Online, fans broke into 2 camps, those who believed the footage confirmed foul play, and those who insisted Menglong's distress was self-inflicted. But as more details emerged, that debate turned into outrage. A forensic technician working off-record claimed that the screams heard in the leaked hallway audio didn't match Menglong's voice at all. "It's deeper," she said. Whoever yelled wasn't him. The most haunting moment comes near the end of the footage. At 2:46 a.m., the elevator doors open one last time. Someone steps out, same dark clothing, same cap, but this time the face is caught briefly by the corner lens. It's blurred, but a silver pendant glints under the hallway light. A similar pendant was later found near the stairwell railing, something police initially dismissed as belonging to a hotel guest. Fans quickly identified it. It matched one worn by Du Chong, the assistant who vanished shortly after Menglong's death and hasn't been seen publicly since. Police never acknowledged this connection. They said Du Chong had no involvement and was cooperating with investigators. But when reporters tried to locate him weeks later, his apartment was empty, cleared out overnight. Neighbors said he left, with only a backpack. As this new footage spread across social media, the public demanded the full 8-minute tape be released without cuts. Hashtags like #JusticeForMenglong and #UnseenFootage trended across Chinese and international platforms. Within days, fans began reanalyzing every frame, zooming in on reflections, syncing the hallway audio with timestamps from police radio logs. What they found was chilling. At 2:47 and 12 seconds a.m., barely a minute before the fall, a voice, soft, pleading, can be heard saying, "Please don't do this." Those words never appeared in the official transcript. By morning, the leaked clip had been scrubbed from nearly every major site, replaced with takedown notices citing privacy and security reasons. But by then, the damage was done. Millions had already seen it. Millions had already heard that final whisper. The next day, Menglong's mother, devastated and trembling, spoke briefly outside her home. "He wasn't alone," she said quietly. "My son was not alone that night." Her words reignited the fire. Online petitions called for reopening the investigation, and pressure mounted on both hotel executives and law enforcement. Yet, as new layers of secrecy emerged, one truth became harder to ignore. Someone wanted the world to forget those 8 minutes ever existed. Now, months later, whispers continue to circle about a second copy of the video, a complete version showing what really happened after that final frame. Some say it's hidden on a secure drive abroad, protected by those who believe Menglong's story deserves to be told. Others claim it's already been destroyed. But the most haunting part? Every time the video resurfaces online, even for seconds before removal, people swear they hear something new. A background breath, a faint step, a voice that sounds like Menglong saying, "It wasn't me." The world may never know the full truth of those 8 minutes, but the silence surrounding them speaks louder than any confession. For fans, those flickering images remain a symbol, not of an ending, but of a cover-up too large to stay hidden forever. And as long as that footage exists somewhere, even in fragments, the question will never fade. Who was with Menglong in that hallway? Because one thing is certain, he didn't fall alone. It begins in darkness. Then, for half a second, the camera flickers back to life, just enough to catch movement. 2 figures, one standing close to the wall, the other pressing forward. You can barely see their faces, but the tension between them is unmistakable. The missing frames from Menglong's final night aren't just technical errors, they're deliberate erasures. When the complete version of the hallway footage finally leaked to an underground forum 2 weeks after the first clip went public, it sent a shockwave through the online community. This wasn't the polished, heavily edited version shown on national TV. This was raw, glitchy, untouched. It revealed 8 seconds the public had never seen before, and those 8 seconds changed everything. At 2:44 and 17 seconds a.m., Menglong can be seen stumbling backward toward his hotel room door, one hand raised defensively as if trying to calm someone down. His voice, hoarse and terrified, breaks through the static. "You said it was just talk. Why are you here?" Then comes another voice, lower, controlled. A man's. "You shouldn't have said my name." The next 2 seconds blur, audio distortion, flickering pixels, but the body language says enough. Menglong backs into the door, fumbling for the handle, but the stranger blocks him. They argue in hushed tones, too quiet to make out, until suddenly, the man grabs his wrist. A metallic clang echoes, the sound of the dropped phone hitting the tiled floor. The screen light flashes once before the image freezes entirely. It's what happens after the freeze that's most disturbing. In the corner of the footage, just before the blackout, a reflection appears in the stainless steel elevator doors, a faint but unmistakable image of a second person watching from the stairwell entrance. Someone else was there. Someone who didn't move. The hotel's official report never mentioned a witness. Yet, digital analysts confirmed the figure couldn't be a shadow. Its proportions, height, and angle were consistent with a human standing about 6 meters away. By morning, the extended footage vanished from every platform where it appeared. But those who saw it described the same haunting detail. In the last frame before darkness, Menglong's mouth moves again. Slow, deliberate. One viewer swore he said, "Tell my mother." The whistleblower who released the second video resurfaced days later under the username Silver08. They claimed the footage was copied directly from the hotel's internal archive before being wiped. Their post included screenshots of hotel maintenance logs showing manual camera shutdowns between 2:43 and 2:45 a.m., a time window that perfectly matches Menglong's final moments. Even more chilling were the timestamps from the security control room. One entry read, 2:44 and 22 seconds a.m. Cam 9B manually disabled. Operator. ID 17DQ.
DQ.
The same initials as Du Chong, Yu Menglong's assistant. Within hours, Du Chong's name was trending again. Viewers pieced together his timeline, discovering he'd checked out of the hotel at 3:10 a.m., less than 30 minutes after the fall. His credit card activity stopped completely the next day. The revelation forced a new round of questions. Why hadn't investigators mentioned this? Why was a man whose initials appeared in the system logs never detained for questioning? When reporters contacted the hotel for comment, the response was brief. Our records are confidential. But one insider, speaking under anonymity, confessed that someone higher up instructed the staff to avoid speculating about the footage. Meanwhile, a journalist from Beijing News uploaded slowed-down audio extracted from the clip. In the background of the argument, beneath the static, she claimed to have identified a third voice, faint, trembling, and saying, "Stop recording." It wasn't Yu Menglong's voice. That line sent the internet into meltdown. Fan forums exploded with theories. Was someone else filming from the hallway? Was Yu Menglong's death captured not only on CCTV but also on a personal phone? Weeks later, investigators retrieved a damaged iPhone from the hotel's maintenance shaft, wedged between pipes 3 floors below the balcony. Forensics confirmed it was Yu Menglong's. The device was waterlogged but not completely destroyed. Experts said it contained a partially recoverable 37-second video file taken just before his fall. Authorities refused to release the content, but sources claimed the footage shows a heated confrontation inside his room, his voice raised, a crash, and the sound of something breaking. Then a door slams. A former employee, now under protection, described the scene with shaking hands. You could hear him shouting, then silence. Just before the camera cuts off, a man's shadow passes across the window. Then nothing. The pattern is clear now. Each missing second, each glitch, each blacked-out frame hides something crucial. And someone is ensuring it stays buried. Meanwhile, Yu Menglong's fans have turned the search for truth into a movement. They dissect every millisecond of leaked footage, hunting for inconsistencies. One editor even compared the lighting angles from 2 camera feeds and found that a portion of the hallway ceiling light was deliberately turned off, making it easier for someone to remain hidden, just out of view. The deeper people dig, the stranger it gets. According to one online investigator, a still image from the footage shows the corner of a security officer's uniform sleeve, a uniform that doesn't match the hotel's current design. The hotel later claimed it was an old maintenance uniform accidentally worn by a staff member. No one believes that anymore. By the time the investigation reopened, key witnesses had disappeared, surveillance servers were replaced, and logs had been corrupted. But fragments of the truth remain, scattered across the internet. Backup files, screenshots, digital echoes that won't fade away. The final, unedited frame, the one that never aired, shows the elevator doors closing slowly, their reflection capturing a shape moving toward the balcony. You can't see the face, but you can see the hand reaching for the railing. The timestamp reads, 2:47 and 9 seconds a.m. 3 seconds later, the screen cuts to static. And though officials maintain the footage proves nothing, those who've watched it can't shake the same feeling. Someone was in that room with Yu Menglong. Someone who made sure the world saw only what they were meant to see. The unanswered question now isn't how Yu Menglong fell, but who pressed delete. Because the truth is still out there, buried in corrupted data, encrypted files, and whispered memories of a night that refuses to fade. And every time another fragment surfaces, one thing becomes clearer. Yu Menglong's story didn't end on that balcony. It was rewritten frame by hands that never wanted the world to know what really happened in those 8 lost minutes.